The Animal Control Center was opened by Dame Antoinette Billy Miller and the Pan American Health Organization in 1979, and a young Benjamin Licorish joined 2 years later on April 6, 1981. That's more than 40 years of service.
I had loved driving as a young fella. I would drive all over the island. Core functions then were capturing and removing stray dogs. So it was really exciting. And one of the exciting things about catching stray dogs is that you only get one chance at getting it right. And let's say you went to an area, let's say New Orleans or those areas. And at that time, there were 2 persons to a vehicle. And persons would come out their houses and they would just line the street, just wait to see whether or not we would get the dogs. One can only imagine, you can imagine like you're trying to catch a dog and you put your best effort in and then you didn't succeed. It would be a belly full of laugh. So sometimes it could be embarrassing depending on where you are. But other times it can be rewarding. It's like, yeah, I did it, you know? And it was exciting because animal control at that time would be relatively new and persons were kind of excited to see how the operations would go, right?
So that was entertainment for them.
Yeah, of course.
And I hear you get bite, so the boy was around when you get bite.
That was once in my area. I would call it a scratch. No, actually, that was twice. There was one time we went to remove a dog from someone's residence and relatively new in the system. And there were German Shepherds and there was a small dog. So I thought I would go and remove the small dog first and then come back for the larger dogs. But that was my mistake because whilst the dogs were what we thought were secured, the little one we had on the snare, the instrument we used to restrain the dog, that got on bad. So one of the German Shepherds got out of the confinement, right? And I had to get past him to get to the gate to exit the yard. And what happened is that I said, I'm not gonna make it to the gate because this dog is coming to me and charging at me. And lucky for me, I had on a frilly pants with a frilly white leg. So when he came and he caught most of the pants. What I realized, because I was backing to get out the yard, and the lady had something there like what you used to bleach the clothes on or something, right? So what I did, I was up on that, and then I sprang over the paling. I left the dog and the instrument inside. So when the guy came home, she called the guy and told him that I was bitten. And he came home and I said, "Boy, you were good to do a ninja." Because I thought it was a 6-foot paling, but it was an 8-foot paling. I did not know how I got out of that yard between those 2 palings. You know the palings in town, one here and next one, that bare space you can walk through before getting injured. So that was one time, and another time I held the dog with my hand and then turned around, twisted, and he caught me. But he just grabbed me and let me go. You've got to adapt to change because as you use other countries' best practices, then you'll see in your own country the need to make adjustments. And what used to happen with you got staff reduction, so that there's no longer 2 persons to a vehicle. You have 1 person going out in the field of the vehicle, so he has to be able to multitask, put the dogs in the vehicle. He has to whilst the dogs still in the vehicle to be able to handle that before the ones that are already in the vehicle escaping. And what they've also seen is that persons now have more respect for us as animal control officers, and we are now currently going through a change to where you see that persons, when they look at us, and because we were considered the kill center, because they're primarily stray dogs. Back then, they didn't even know that we allow persons to rehome dogs. But now it's more highlighted and it's come more to surface where persons, if they're desirous of having a dog, rehome dogs as well. So that stigma is now being removed. And there's more a humane side now being portrayed from the animal control side than just a kill center. You just pick up, put sleep.
Some investigations of complaints include losses that sheep farmers experience because of dogs.
So what you encourage the sheep farmers to do though, if you have sheep out this morning, you have to deal with one, you got to build up, because that's like you start a business, you got to look at your field factors, look at what can possibly affect you, affect your bottom line, and try to mitigate. So you got to fence in your property the best you can to keep your dogs out. I mean, they're not always successful, but at least if they hear a noise in your backyard, you can probably put your light on and shoot them away. Even as we speak, a lot of farmers are crying out now for stray dogs being destroyed.
After today, I was watching it on the group. Same thing, I see somebody something. Like for me, my father built a pen similar to this at home, but I learned, I said, okay, this could be improved. So when I did mine, I made sure, okay, because for them, they have too little space between. Like you see, between that space, it becomes difficult to clean. Like I mean, here now I could literally clean out only for here in about 2 minutes. But it's just I got a heavy rake there, and the rake long enough, just pull and everything come out. Yeah, we have had dogs that jump over the fence over here, but thankfully, with my setup, the most they've done is stress them out, and you will realize a few days after when you come in the pen, it's like, they're jumpy because but otherwise, it's okay.
Some of them still rely on bringing them or they take them out on the pasture somewhere on somebody else's property and tether them out. So what I was suggesting, if you're in a case like that and you can go and can cut the grass and provide the animals they're feeding from what you bring in, that might be the best way.
We've all seen it. Sometimes you're just driving or walking by and you see a dog tied to a short chain looking hungry, aggressive, and just downright miserable. You might wonder, can't the Animal Control Center just go and remove it?
You see, they got to work within the law. And what we do is, once we can speak with the person and give them a timeline to make improvements. It's not like a military state we just come in, or police state we just come in strong arm and down-handed. Sometimes you wish you could do that, but then the person may be a poor, needy person, but got a lawyer friend. So you still want to operate in a way that you won't put your department, in jeopardy. And the same way you have that vested interest in animal welfare, you still got to be mindful that there's a human element involved. There's some persons who love dogs but find it difficult at this point in time to adequately maintain the canine's welfare and just need a little assistance, and we can talk to them. And there's some persons out there who are willing and who will offer to assist those persons.
This is Bella, Amanda, Acalia, Ford.
Hi, Bella.
And this is this one that was stray. Her name is Ginger Belladonna Alyssa Ford. You sleep comfortable in your beds at night. Make sure your dog, the environment is safe, and your dog sleep comfortable as well.
Neutering and spaying is important when it comes to controlling the dog population. Even back in the 1980s, when Mr. Licorish first started working at the Animal Control Center, overpopulation was a problem.
When it first started out, I told myself, this might be some humorous. I can soon go look for a job because we catch all the dogs about the place and the rate we were going at. So what we do, we will catch some and leave back some. That's job security. But then they realized, look, I've been working here now, 42 years? 42 years, since the airport will be 42 years straight. I could never put a handle on the amount of dogs because initially there were dogs that you refer to as common dogs. They're not so common anymore because a lot of those dogs were exported, gone to England, all across the world. So what we've done is adopted other breeds, but the common dog, low maintenance dogs, Heinz 57, that breed, King, ground dog, whatever you want to call it. Those dogs, you didn't have to go to the vet every 5 minutes with those dogs. And those dogs were strong. And what we find now, and I would encourage persons to do who are dog owners to have a vet. If you're interested in the dog, carry your dog to the vet, because dogs now live in a close proximity. You have persons living with dogs in their home, and you don't want the parasites and things, because it could transmit zoonotic diseases, and there are 20, some 28 diseases. The three that are most common to us or of interest to us in Barbados is the one, the cutaneous migraine, larval migraine. Then you have salmonellosis, the leptospirosis. Those are the three that can, because those that go disturb the garbage, they can help in the spread of breeding mosquitoes, because when the food containers are exposed and you get the rain and they act as receptacles for the water. And then you got the flies. So dog owners, it's a tremendous responsibility, not just to have a dog tied up and throw scraps at the dog. You have to pay interest in, it's for your own health and for the health of your neighbors and all that.
Even though he's been working with dogs all his life, the retiring animal control inspector doesn't have any dogs of his own, or so he thinks.
Well, it may sound ironic, but I don't really have a dog. But it does not mean, because like I said, when initially I just loved driving. And it was always like that. Dogs require a lot of time. And I'm quite a busy person, but my wife has dogs. And the responsibility lies on me.
Also, dogs still at you? So you don't have dogs?
Personally. But when he retire, I think I will get, I like the Rottweiler breed. I think I will get probably two Rottweilers. I like those breeds. I put it to you, persons who have dogs, that within 15 minutes of spending time with them, they can come home depressed, stressed, spend 15 minutes with those dogs. I'm going to tell you something, go check your pressure after. It's coming way down. That's scientifically proven. Yeah. Dogs, they show a love that surpasses the human thing. Yeah, I show you that. Some human, ungrateful. You do the best for them and they turn around like Bob Marley. You do something for a dog. If you give it a meal, a dog appreciate that. He remembers you. Dog, if you come back 10 years, 15 years from now, he remembers you. He remembers your kindness. The other thing is when you come home from work, the dog is excited. He hears your car, your vehicle come in, and he's excited and all wagging his tail and whining. Sometimes you come home, this is not my case, but because you come home, you're other significant other, you're home, right? But dogs just show a love, man, and I tell you something else.
And are there any plans for retirement just around the corner?
This might sound like a paradox. My life is not divided into sections. So it's just like one straight stream. I'm already involved. You got to this. I already have various activities. Like I said, it was fairly busy. And it's just that you give more time, you could dedicate more time to the other things that you would find you have less time to do. So you can devote more time to doing that. So that's basically it.
Okay, so really.
And like going to travel, I've done that. With everything, I've done that, been there. So it's like I just continue living,
That's a good way of putting it.
And what's interesting, because persons will say, when they retire, do this and retire. Why do I start now?
If you have any questions for Mr. Licorish or any member of the team at the center, they're just a phone call away at 536-3162. Also like them on Facebook and follow on Instagram at Animal Control 246.